G'day, mate, and welcome back to Satisfactory with me, Jetty. Today's episode is going to be a little bit of a different episode. Today's episode is going to be all about design, and also a small change to the way this particular episode is going to run, because I want to change some settings. I'm going to change some settings that's going to ruin all my chance of getting achievements, but that's okay, because we're not keeping the save. What we're doing today is we're making some blueprints. So, first thing I need to do before we get any further is I need to get rid of the weapon. We're going to need to get rid of the weapon. In fact, I need to get rid of basically everything. We're just going to have, our coffee cup. Our coffee cup, that's all we're going to need. Also, at the same time, I need to ask you that very important question. That very important question being, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like in the video before we get into today's designing. But before I get to designing, I've intentionally loaded this save with advanced game settings on, which means I'm going to turn on flight mode. Because today, like I said, all I want to do is I want to build blueprints. I want to take you through the designs of blueprints, which means now if I double type space, I can fly. Which also means I can give you a good, idea of exactly how much concrete has been laid down. Also exactly how far away the starter base is. You know, over there somewhere, there's some structures. Yeah, the hub's over there. But today, like I said, I want to build blueprints. I want to pull out the blueprint designer and, okay, can we fall? It's faster to fall than it is to fly down. All right, I want to design blueprints, and I don't want to fully design the blueprints with you. I want to show you how I go about designing blueprints. Come on, I need you beside the other one. I need 3 of these guys in a row. Thank you, game. There, cool. I want to go through how I design a blueprint from start to end, at least one of them, and then I want to talk about the couple of generic designs I need. So, the first thing I want to do is I want to design a smelter, a nice simple smelter, because, well, everybody needs smelters. And we're going to put you, right here in the middle. Yep, waste all the space I want, because it really doesn't matter. Next thing is I need a merger, because whatever you're going to have coming out needs to be merged. I don't want a smart splitter, I want a merger. Thank you very much. I want you to go in that direction. All right, so whatever comes out, no, I don't want to save this blueprint yet. Number 3, please, thank you. I want a Mark 1 belt. That's gonna be very important because you're not gonna be able to output a lot no matter what, so we can get away with the Mark 1 belt. Set recipe to none, please, cool. No, you have a recipe saved. Okay, I need you to have a recipe of nothing. So we'll start again. All right, not a constructor, a smelter. A smelter right there. Okay, belts, Mark 1, please, and there. All right, step 1. Step 2 is I want to get resources into the back of this, but also I want the blueprint to be as small as possible. It's actually critically important as small as possible, because on a normal Mark 1 designer, you don't have a lot of space to play with. But also, you don't really want to waste factory space if you don't need to waste factory space. So what I actually want to do is I want to bring in the resources from above. I want to bring them in from here, which means I need to get a splitter here. Now, technically I can do this. I can put a splitter over the end of the conveyor and then put another splitter beside it and feed the resources straight in. But I'm going to choose not to for this particular run around. I'm going to, put a splitter in this space right here. But I can't get a splitter to attach to that. So I need to work backward, and we're going to work backward by putting in conveyor poles. I want to go up. Can I change you to zoop mode, please? Up to, I don't know how high. And I need you to line up, which is that tile. Okay. So I'm now hoping if I get a Mark 3 belt, this one's going to, actually this belt won't matter in speed-wise. I want you to get it there to there. Okay. If this has worked, I should be able to get a splitter. Hold down control so it lines up and click that there. Now, if this has worked correctly, if I pick up a belt, those 2 arrows shouldn't exist. The fact that those 2 arrows do exist means that did not connect directly to that. I prefer it to be directly connected. So I want to go back into my lift and I want to do that a second time. Now, as I rotate this around, we're going to get an extra ding if it lines up and gets a complementary belt. Okay, so if I now select my belt, I don't have those 2 arrows there, which means this is all connected. This is all connected. This should all work. So this is my stage 1 of my blueprint. Can I remove that? And can I remove that? Okay. So what I want to do is I want to save this. We're going to call this new blueprint. Cool. With this being called new blueprint, I'm going to come to here. I'm going to select blueprints. I'm going to select new blueprint. And I want to put new blueprint right here at the edge. And then right beside that, I want to put new blueprint again. And then I want to put another new blueprint with a follow-up new blueprint with another. Oh, no, that's wrong. It's off by tile. Can we please, demo tool, change that to blueprint. Cool. Remove that whole blueprint. Back to blueprints. New blueprint. New blueprint. And one more new blueprint. Yeah. If I come around the front, I can see this is our center line. This obviously doesn't line up. Doesn't line up perfectly. It's a little bit off. So we're going to save this as new blueprint 1. Cool. Close. I'm going to come to this tile. Actually, we're going to come to the front of this tile so we can see what we're doing easier. I want blueprints. I want new blueprint 1. And I want to pop that, well, as far back as possible. There. Seems about right. And then I want to lock that in place. And then I want to use the nudge tool to move it left and right. The problem is it's nudging too far. So what I actually want to do is I'm going to hold down control whilst they nudge to do a half nudge. I need a half nudge, just a littlest nudge, tiniest amount. And then I want to put that there. Okay, with that done, now I want to take a Mark III belt because this is the highest technology I have and plug, hello, that together and that together. And that together, and that together, and that together, and that together, and that together. Cool. So that's my completed blueprint for half a blueprint. Because obviously if I have a row of smelters, I want a second row of smelters. Sure, I should really put in power, and well, power would be probably there to there, and then from there to here, and into that one, and into that one, and from here to here, to here, to here. Now, if you want to put a foundation underneath your whole blueprint, you can put down a foundation under your whole blueprint and then use that to hide the power wires by running power sockets down to the floor and hide them inside the machines and have tripping hazards and all that sort of stuff. But this is my 3 stages of my blueprint. The only thing I'd be doing is I'd be clearing this design. I would then be going and, well, grabbing a smelter, putting a smelter here, grabbing a lift, run a lift to the exact same height as we did previously, put a merger at the end. You're still going to be facing out the same direction we started. I would be putting in, my poles. You've still got zoom mode on. That might be too far out. Can I go there to there? Can I get a splitter? Splitter, hold down control. No, that's fine. That is the correct distance. And that lines up with that one. It does. Cool. Change, remove, and conveyor mark 1. Get that tick, and then remove everything. And then I would just do this process a second time for a second time to give me, well, these ones facing to the right, and then I would copy that and paste it to here, and then do the exact same thing by nudging it correctly into the middle. In actual fact, I probably want to nudge this one forward a little bit so it's a little bit closer, and I'd have the 2 blueprints saved as 2 halves before I finally end up with the next blueprint machine over here with a complete copy of both the left side and the right side exactly how I want them, with power joined between the 2, and that is the final point where I would save the blueprint. But this is what I want to do for a couple of items. So first off was obviously smelters. We've walked through how I do, well, half the smelters to start with. As you can see, things are technically outside the barrier, but if I, well, save this really quickly, and then blueprints, new blueprint number 2, we can see that that is, it still has all the lifts attached on the back of it because they were put down as a blueprint, and technically where the entity starts is inside the barrier. Okay, so with that knowledge out of the way, next thing I want to do is I want to build something similar for, well, constructors. So we would do a constructor, and this would be much the same process. Constructors, actually no, constructors I do a little bit different. Constructors, Actually, no, let's start in the middle. Can I do a merger? So, constructors, I want to merge and run resources out that way. And then I put a constructor here. I'd also put another constructor here. Okay, output-wise, Mark 1 belt should be fine, because if I look through my recipes, you're going to do 20 per minute. That's fine. You're going to do 15 per minute. That's fine. You're going to do 40 per minute. That's fine. Something like quick wire, 60 per minute. That's fine. Silica, 37.5 per minute. That's fine. Quartz, 22.5 per minute. So we're probably okay with a lot of things. I think the only thing that might be an exception is biomass wood, you know, that goes over the 60 limit. So by all means, you might want to adjust your blueprints from a Mark 1 to a Mark 2 with your output belts, but realistically for 98% of things, this is going to be cheap enough. Okay, then here, I want to have a splitter. And I want the splitter to be going forward as well. And I want to bring that to that height. Because at that height, I should be able to get a lift. And there. Yep. And now I've used Mark 3 belt with a Mark 1 lift. Technically, you should use a Mark 1 for both. Maybe that's what you decide to do. Maybe I downgrade mine, but this is the basic concept. This is the basic concept. I want two constructors facing one another. It is an awful lot of production, and actually I probably put the power poles between this set and the next set, and then I do exactly the same as I've done already. So I would duplicate this, until I have a row of 4 constructors, I think it is. Yeah, I can fit 4 inside this blueprint box, but that's the constructors. Okay. Other generic recipes or other generic blueprints, and that's what all I'm really doing at the moment. I'm just making generic blueprints. Like, we will make specialized blueprints in the future, but for right now I just need some generic ones. I need to be able to stamp down a bunch of constructors in the new location and have them do like iron plates. I don't want to have iron plates all the way over there and I have to run over there and get them. I want to have them here. Also, you know, I have, as you can see, belts and belts worth of limestone coming in, and it's being converted into concrete on site. This is handmade. It took time. If I had this as a blueprint where I could just stamp down 2 rows, well, then technically I could just grab all the limestone I've got currently, bring it over here as raw limestone, which is what we're going to be doing with the whole map, and then feed it into a couple of rows of constructors, and away we go. So I want to make sure I have generic blueprints set up. So this one is going to be for assemblers. So I want a splitter. Now I can put this right here, super close. Well, technically right there and not clip. I actually want to come out just a little bit, and that is because I need to get a belt in from above at that distance. No, you're still very upset with me. Okay, can I move you back ever so slightly? Rotate you around. 1, 2. No, you need one more. Okay. Assembler. 1, 2, 3. No, you definitely don't need 3, because you're now far enough away that I could reasonably use a very, very short lift. And that's too far. Okay, can I do the assembler and production? Assembler and 1, 2, there. Okay. You go in there. Show me your curve. Yeah, your curve's fine. Okay, can I put 1 here as well? Technically it should be Mark 1 belts. I'm using Mark 3, doesn't really matter. But again, this is my simple blueprint. My very simple blueprint for 1 module. And all I need is a merger at the front. You go in there. You're going to have definitely a Mark 1 belt. You don't need anything faster than this. Technically, 60 per minute. 12 per minute. 36 per minute. 100 per minute. So there are a couple of items where you're going to go over that 60 limit. Now, whether you make one that just does 60 and then you know, when you use something that you use a recipe that goes fast, you upgrade individual belts, Whether you just make something with the higher grade belts to start with, that's entirely up to you. But for the moment, like I said, I just want some generic blueprints. I'm happy using the Mark III for the moment, the Mark III belts. But then again, I might end up, well, when I duplicate this one and 3 of them? Yeah, we do 3 of them. We can do 3 of them very easily on this side of blueprint grid. Okay, so that's our constructor, that's our assembler, that's our smelter. I want a foundry, and I actually want 2 different foundries. Okay, first off, can I get a splitter there and a splitter there? Remove the one underneath. Okay, remove the one underneath. Bring in a belt. Mark 1. No? Mode default, not straight. Okay, and that way you can do the steel ingot recipe. Okay, 45, 45 each, 45 out. But I also have one for the solid steel ingot. Now, the solid steel ingot I actually do want to run as a dedicated build, because this alternative recipe is considerably more efficient. If I grab a... Actually, no, we can do opening codex. Okay. I do 3 in, 3 out, and get 3 out, or I do 2 in, 2 and 2 in, and I get 3 out. The only thing I need to do is I need to take my iron ore and pre-smelt it into an iron ingot. That's really easy. That's dead easy to do. So I would like a generic one for this. Can I do I don't want a splitter. I want a merger, and we put a merger there. Okay. So that's my generic one. I need to duplicate that out. I can fit 3 in a block. That's not a problem. But I also want a specialized one. A specialized one would have our foundry. It would have our merger right there. Mark 1 belt is fine, and you should actually technically be closer because you really don't want to waste any space, like I said earlier, if you don't have to. And you might also notice that I'm making sure whatever side I bring the resources in is also the side I bring the resources out. You can bring them back the way, you know, I could bring the resources in this way and then bring the return back out. That's entirely up to you. Some people like to make mirrored versions of their blueprints. Some people like to make reversed versions of their blueprints. So they do have that option. They have, you know, a very similar blueprint in like 4 different variants for those times when they need to have a slightly more unique circumstance where they want to have the resources come back one way over the other, normally because, you know, they need to feed the next feed another build. But I want to smelter, and actually I have a blueprint still. New blueprint. Can I get a new blueprint and pop that right there? Cool. Can I remove that? You are not going to be outputting to there. You're going to be outputting to this foundry. Now this foundry, I need to line up your input. There we go. And then I need a Mark 1 belt. Cool. Except you, I'm actually going to set a recipe on because this is no longer a generic blueprint. It's now a specialized blueprint. So you're going to make 30 iron ingots. You need to have 40 iron ingots. I'm not going to make 40 iron ingots, but if I crank this down to a speed of... No, it's 75%. 75%. If I crank this down to a speed of 75%, then can I... You're not going to update the numbers, are you? Not till you run through the recipe once. And I can't have you run through the recipe once inside the blueprint machine. Not a fan. Okay. You're going to do 30 ingots per minute, 30 coal per minute, and you're going to give me 45 steel per ingots. Steel ingots. I should add ingots per minute. So I need you to be here. I need a Mark 1 belt. And because you're underclocked, I also need to get coal in here. Now, coal, I have a lot of options how I could get in coal. But for my particular design, and this is what blueprinting is all about, it's making design choices and design decisions. I am going to intentionally run this belt over the top of... Come on. That belt. And then I want to put in a splitter, and I want that to be underneath so I can line up. So then I can have that attached onto there. So I know that that's definitely attached and it's definitely lined up, because the very next thing we're going to do is put in a Mark 1 lift. I'm going to bring a Mark 1 lift down to here, rotate that in, and put a belt through to here. Okay. So this becomes this little design. Now, as this already has 2 entities on it, I would immediately put a power pole somewhere, probably at the front, honestly, and then run that from there to there. So now when I take this as a blueprint and I duplicate it a few times, it comes with the power pole set up. It comes with the rest. There we go. The recipe set up. It comes with this underclocked, ready to go. And is that constructor, assembler, smelter, foundry? I don't have any other alternates unlocked that would chain together. Oh, actually no. There's one other thing that I would do. Okay. Pop you there. And that is constructor. I would do a double constructor build. Probably a Mark III belt, and this would be for something like wire into cables. So this is, you know, those times when you need to take a item and then run it through a couple of different items, or a couple of different steps to get your final output. Start with a merger there, and then we go back to a splitter. You at the back end up with logistics, lift to there. Oh, that seems short. Lift. That seems better. Lift in there. Remove these two. Make sure I have a Mark 1 belt on the output. Again, pop in a power pole. I'd probably leave the power on this until I've got the final blueprint, just so I know exactly where I can put the power pole. And I don't mind if the power pole clips a little bit, like sits here. But if I end up putting it out here, and therefore I can fit in one less row of constructors, then I'm not going to be very, very happy. But this is how I design my blueprints. I design them as a single individual chunk, and then after I've done that, I duplicate them until I have, well, same with the smelters, a full set of smelters. But I also do one other thing, and that is, well, I choose to go to a different map entirely, a different save, where I've unlocked everything, so I can use the Blueprint Designer Mark III. And here we are in our alternative save with the Blueprint Designer Mark III. As you can see, this is, well, another smelter block. I took my original smelter block and I just supersized it because we now have 6x6 tiles to play with rather than the original Blueprint Designer Mark I that has 4x4. If you're interested in exactly how you can access, well, the bigger and better blueprints, I'll leave a link to the video up top right hand corner. It's a very, very short video, but it goes through exactly how to access the bigger machine and more importantly, how to transfer the blueprints across, because blueprints don't move from save file to save file without you doing just a little bit of manual intervention. But this is our smelter 6x6. If I clear the design and load blueprint and I go to, of course, it's not going to be in this save. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be in this save. I had to import it to start us off. All right, let me go back to, well, the current map we're working on, and we'll look in there. So we have the smaller design, the original design, and right beside it, I have, well, it's bigger and better, brother. Smelter 6x6. As you can see, there's just a small, slight difference, and if these guys are going to do, well, 30 in, 30 out, that's 30, 60, 90, 180. Whereas these guys are designed to do, well, 30, 60, 90, 180, 210, 240, 270. So this will take in a full Mark III belt and give you a full Mark III belt out. In saying that, not many resource nodes will give you 270. You know, they normally top out at 240, which normally means I just, well, either don't set a recipe or just turn this one off outright and just run it at the speed of 240. But what I need to do is I need to test these designs because unfortunately I can't feed resources into the Blueprint Designer, so we need to give these a quick test. To do that, we're going to be selecting obviously a smelter 6x6. Can I whack you right about here for right now? It doesn't really matter where you live because you're easy to disassemble. And I just need to, can I get a splitter here somewhere? Yeah, about there looks good. And run that into there. I need you to do iron ore. I need to grab power, which as you can see is a nice central node right here in the middle, which then powers everything. And I can bring power through that and onto the next structure. And then copy, paste, 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 paste. Yes, none of them have recipes, but with copy paste, it's not that hard to set them. And then I bring that out there. And then in theory, well, around this side, every single one of those lights should light up and should go green eventually, providing I'm feeding enough iron ore, which I'm probably not, honestly. But as long as I don't see them either red, they're not getting any, well, permanently stay yellow, i.e. they're not getting any resources in, or turn red, i.e. I miss power, the whole smelting array should be ready. Also, at the same time, I want to test out foundries. Can I get the foundries done? And you're designed that way. So can I get a set of foundries? Can I also get the other blueprint we made for solid steel? Which is even on the bigger blueprint machine, you can only get 4 of them. It's not a massive difference, but it's definitely a difference. You're also designed that way. Okay, can I bring iron ore into there? No, you can't reach. This can be a mess for right now because it's all going to get removed shortly. And coal is right above. Can I grab coal from there and bring that? Oh, you won't reach either. Can you just sit on top of that belt? Conveyor belt's too steep. Okay, well, you happy now? Alright, so that should get that in there. I need to hook you into power, which again, just throw in any power line and any power line. And then I just need to see you working. That's all we're aiming for. I didn't set the recipe. See, I didn't downclock these guys, so you're not getting iron ore. Yep, I can see every single one of those green arrows. So this means that I can already tell this blueprint's broken. I need to go back and I need to, well, remove each one of these. Nope, you're still broken. Yep, this is one of my comments about the blueprint designer. The fact that I can't run resources in from the outside. I realize I can't blueprint a belt going out through the blueprint wall, the blueprint designer box. I realize I can't run a belt through from the outside of it and save that as part of the blueprint because that's outside of this area. But I'd really like to be able to test it, and I can't test it. It's kind of power up the machines inside the blue. Yeah, not a fan, not a fan. But you don't work, so I need to go back and redesign you. In the meantime, can I just disconnect that, and we'll disconnect that, and we'll test this one then. So you're the base recipe, so I can just plug in iron anywhere and coal also anywhere. Okay, I prefer it if there was slightly less clipping, because once I start, I probably won't stop. And can I plug you there? Cool. You have the base recipe. Oh, you're doing molded beams. Okay, so you have the wrong recipe saved. Awesome. So this is why we go through and we test them. You're not going to work, and I just want to be able to sync everything so I can see that it's actually running. You're getting that. You're getting that, and you're getting that. And I have unlocked an alternate being. I haven't unlocked an alternate. But because it was saved with the alternate recipe inside a blueprint designer. Really? We're finding out things together. 3 foundries. Can I remove that? So I have some more material. Blueprints. 3 foundries. Yeah. Steel ingots. You make steel ingots. Can I... organization, industrial storage. Take all. Put that in there. Oh, not quite enough. Take all. And paste all. And give you power. Okay. New question. If I change your recipe, can I copy that recipe and paste it there? Yep. Yep. So technically, if you have a blueprint of a machine with an alternative recipe that you haven't unlocked, which is what I have currently, then I am good to go. Okay, all right. Interesting. Okay, so I have normal smelters. I have 3 foundries. I do have one called solid steel, which we've already put down, which we know doesn't work. Oh, hang on. I have 2. You're also called solid steel. Okay, remove blueprint. Remove that, and remove that. Okay, so blueprints. Solid steel and 4 solid steel. Okay, how about just solid steel 3 off? That's the one I'm looking for. All right, can I remove that? Can I remove that? And can I plug that one in there? No, that's the coal line. That's the iron line. All right, remove that. Okay, so there to there, and there to there, and then power this up. You're going to do 30, and you have not been underclocked. So even this one, I need to load it back into the designer, underclock it, and save it again. But more importantly, do your work at the rate of 75. 75 is the clock speed you should be running at. And coal's coming in, iron's coming in. So yes, this one does actually work. Can I remove that? And we just plug that into there, just to make sure that they all turn on. So this is the part of the design part of blueprints. That's why I load up, anytime I'm playing with blueprints, I load up a save, I take a save game, and then I reload it with advanced game mode on. So that way I can test things, I can design things, I can rip things down, I can rebuild things, and it's done quickly, efficiently, and more importantly, if I do run out of resources, I can turn on this button really quickly and then just build whatever I want. Right there and then. I don't have to worry about resources. Also don't have to worry about my inventory exploding, because when I deconstruct things, it all disappears into the ether. So this blueprint works. All right. Meanwhile, we're actually over here in this save because I'm doing one thing, and that is, well, the thing that I was in the middle of, which was running compacted coal. So I've started bringing over coal and sulfur, running them over here into our power plant. The reason we're running compacted coal recipe is normal coal has an energy value of 300 megajoules. Compacted coal has an energy value of 630 megajoules. As you can see, it's 1 bit of coal for 1 bit of compacted coal out. It is going to cost me some sulfur, but our original coal powered generators, they would burn 15 coal per minute. We're now burning at a rate of 7.14, which actually means that my 240 belt of coal from our original coal area over here, everything's bright green. Okay, if I do ping, coal, eventually it'll get there. There we go. Our original coal, what we have over here, which is a normal, a temp, whatever a temp is, a normal, and a normal. They're all, well, 2 of them are still doing the original power plant. 2 of these have been merged together and they've been brought along the belt highway. I'll talk more about belt highways in a future video, but they're being brought here, dropped down, and letting us run this power plant. But with a 240 belt coming in, and we're burning 7.14 compacted coal per minute, that means I can run 33.61 power plants, each one doing 75 megawatts. That's 2.5 gigawatts worth of power from 240 coal. Yeah, it's a sizable upgrade to our power. Also means that, well, I can run an awful lot more factory, because I still need to, if we remember, no, this is still, it's a very long distance. It's a couple of minutes to run there and back. I know, because I'm doing it occasionally when I need to remove something that we no longer need. But I need to replace everything we built originally. So the modular frames, the rotors, the current steel production for steel pipes, and also, well, rotors, copper sheets, cables, screws, reinforced iron, modular frames, everything that we've built over there currently, every single bit of automation, I want to move across here. I want to be back to almost a blank slate where we have everything being made, at least in some way, shape, or form. So give me a second to at least, well, make sure the power plant's moved across permanently, and also stop feeding coal down there, because I just need coal down there for test. And as soon as this is running at full speed, I can disconnect the old coal power plant, get it moved, well, its coal moved across here as well, and then we could look at, well, putting down these smelter blocks once I fix that design, get it up and running, and start making a lot of those resources right here. Also still need to get copper, but I'm in luck because there's copper right here. Yep, in those trees, buried in those trees. There's a copper node right there, right there. And there's also iron right here. No, I haven't started bringing the iron across. So yeah, there's also iron ore right here. Yep, 1, 2, and then there's a third one behind this rock. Yep, so I have an awful lot of iron locally, awful lot of copper locally. I've got limestone right around the corner as well. This is why this area was chosen. Oh, can I do a ping for limestone? That way we can cover our bases. Limestone's here and our caterium is here. So coal's the only thing that had to come in via a distance. We have all the resources locally. What we don't have is a whole lot of, well, smelters, assemblers, constructors, all those sorts of things, which means I'm going to leave this episode here. When I come back in the next episode, when I have some blueprints and I have some designs I can show you, we're just going to overproduce everything for right now. I just need to have everything running. I need to be able to have everything from the old base removed and some sort of new base up and running. And it's going to take a little while, so I'm going to leave this video here and I'll catch you in the very next one. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in the next video.